She laughed first. That's what I remember most. That thin, sharp laugh slicing through the noise of Christmas dinner when she realized who I'd brought home. Everyone else went quiet. Forks paused midair, wine glasses trembling like nervous witnesses. But she laughed. She always thought she was untouchable. Leela was the kind of cousin people warned you about but didn't have the heart to hate. She could make your boyfriend forget your name before dessert. At family gatherings, she'd float around in silk and smiles, touching arms, leaning close, whispering just enough to make every man wonder. The first time she did it, I was 17. She kissed my prom date behind the garage while I was cutting cake for the guests. He told me later, drunk, ashamed, that she started it. Like that excused it. I believed him. I even forgave her. That's how she worked. You forgave her, or she'd ruin you worse. By the time I was 28, it was tradition. Thanksgiving, she'd flirt with whoever I brought. Christmas, she'd find a way to corner them. New Year's, she'd send a drunk text pretending to be me. I played it off for years, pretended I was above it. But each time, something inside me folded smaller, tighter. Then she crossed the wrong line. Last year, I brought Evan, quiet, steady, someone who made me feel safe for the first time in years. Leela found out where he worked and showed up pretending to be me. She told him she'd been thinking about him, that she wanted to be honest about her feelings. He told me everything, showed me the messages. I didn't cry, I didn't yell. I just stopped breathing for a moment. Then I exhaled, and when I did, something inside me snapped back into place. I didn't plan revenge that night. I planned peace. But peace, for me, meant ending her games. Completely. I started writing to someone named Mason. He was serving time for a white-collar crime, fraud, not violence. I found him through a volunteer literacy program. He was smart, charming, lonely. We exchanged letters for 6 months. I told him everything about my cousin, her manipulations, her appetite for attention, her cruelty hidden behind charm. He said, "People like that need an audience. Take the audience away, and they crumble." That line became my blueprint. When Mason got released, I invited him to Christmas. My family thought it was charity work, me helping an ex-inmate get back on his feet. I didn't correct them. The night of the dinner, I wore black. Leela wore red. Of course she did. She hugged me tight enough to whisper in my ear, "Is this your latest project or your next mistake?" I smiled. "You'll find out." Dinner was its usual chaos. Kids screaming, my uncle drunk, my aunt pretending not to notice. Leela did what she always did. She sized up Mason before the salad hit the table. She leaned forward, touching her hair, making her laugh louder, her voice sweeter. I watched her performance unfold like a rerun. Mason watched too, expressionless, calm. Then he said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Leela, didn't we meet before?" The room went still. She blinked, confused. He smiled. "Yeah, at that hotel downtown, 2 years ago. You remember? You were using a fake name, said you needed help faking financial records for your boss." The color drained from her face. My family froze. My aunt whispered her name, but Leela didn't answer. I leaned back, pretending surprise. "Leela, what's he talking about?" She stammered, denying, babbling. Mason reached into his jacket and placed a small folder on the table. "I still had the files," he said. "You used my company's accounts. I lost my job because of that. But hey, no hard feelings. I've already spoken to the investigator." Silence. Heavy. Complete. My mother whispered, "Leela?" Leela couldn't speak, couldn't even look at me. Her hands trembled as she tried to stand, but her knees gave out. I didn't move. I didn't gloat. I just watched the woman who'd humiliated me for a decade crumble under the weight of her own secrets. She left before dessert. No one's heard from her since. A month later, I got a message from Mason. You free the moment you stop feeding their performance. He was right. Sometimes revenge doesn't look like fire. Sometimes it's silence and a mirror. I didn't destroy her. I just let her reflection finally speak for itself. And that was enough. Now, every Christmas, I bring no one. I sit at that same table, sip my wine, and when someone asks about Leela, I smile. She couldn't make it, I say. And for the first time in years, no one laughs.